So this week's 5.5 adventure has a ton of stats bonuses for the enemy board. You can see it has the typical deadly, which grants units half their stats rounded up. Then they have this, the first unit they play gets double stats, and fearsome, as well as they have this foe's strongest ally gets +2/+2 for each of their allies. So they are going to, in general, have a board with very big units. In order to counter this, one of the best characters for that is Ashe. And so we'll go through a build with her. We'll start off with her constellation, and the real key to this build is her 6-star, which is that when you decrease an enemy's power, randomly distribute that much power among the allies in your hand. So with this, we'll also be leveraging her 4-star, which is each round, the first time a foe summons a unit, you frostbite it. So that first unit that they drop, that gets those big double stats, that'll get frostbitten, and we will get the power into our units in hand. Also, we have this round start, frostbite the strongest enemy and give it vulnerable this round. So this frostbite will also be giving us additional power to our hand. Now, when we look at Ashe's build here, it is common for people to just run triple Curator's Gatebreaker. This will allow you to kill their Nexus anytime you have an Ashe in hand that has power equal to at least 1/3 of their Nexus's health. Then you can just drop her and she will kill them. One weakness with Ashe, however, with this sort of build is that if you don't draw Ashe initially, or you don't draw her in the first couple turns, then you can end up getting overwhelmed. You can't frostbite all their creatures, and since you don't have your key piece, then you end up getting worn down. So we are putting in Echoing Spirit in this case. We will now need to have half their Nexus's health in power in order to drop her and kill them. So a little bit more damage requirement in terms of frostbiting them, but we are much more likely to have Ashe and draw her in our opening hand, and that will hopefully help mitigate the risk of not drawing her. So let's go into the adventure here. First our power. None of these are particularly amazing for us, but I think we will just take this. Gets us a unit on board we can help defend with if we absolutely need to, and can reduce the cost of things in hand. So we'll take that. She doesn't have any particular requirements around the powers she's looking for. Of course, more mana gems or more things that reduce power of enemies are really good. Additional frostbites, things like that. So when we're playing her, we want to, as quickly as possible, get all other units out of our hand. So we are going to be playing out these other units. Even though he already is frostbitten, we are going to go ahead and toss this guy out. Frostbite again, and now we're just going to attack in. We get a reduced cost Ashe. So you can see power is getting sort of randomly distributed amongst our different Ashes. Right now this is the most powerful one, but we are not yet at a third of their HP. So let's go ahead and toss this in here. That's fine. They can remove all the units. We're just trying to get it so we only have spells in our hands. So we're more likely, we are very close to being able to just drop this Ashe. Let's go ahead and frostbite this, though then we won't be able to drop her. So one option here is we could just attack in. That guarantees us essentially, if they block 8 damage, it guarantees us at least 12 damage, which should get them low enough for us to just drop Ashe here. So let's just go ahead and do that. We'll drop her. There we go. Alright, and now ideally we want to draft spells, so like this, fantastic. The reason we want to focus on drafting spells and drafting different things, none of these actually have spells, which is really unfortunate. Normally, if you're doing other builds, you're looking to not have spells in your hand, but in our case, we want spells so that we're having less creatures, and cheaper creatures are also good. So let's go ahead with Fizz here, because he'll be easy to drop, get out of our hand, so that we only have Ashe in our hand, and we are more likely to get the power to her when we frostbite stuff. Just go ahead and go here. Both those paths led to stores, so really didn't matter which path we took. We luckily drew our Ashe. That's part of why we had the Echoing Spirit in there, since we didn't get her in our opening hand. Now let's go ahead and toss out this unit. And now we'll frostbite again. We already got Ashe up to 11 power. We'll just go ahead and pass here. 18 power, so we're 20. There we go. We're already at half their Nexus health, so now we can drop Ashe. Ashe has this thing where basically the stronger your opponent's board, the quicker she scales. So this build is actually less effective against weaker adventures, because typically there isn't a lot of power on the enemy board with the weaker adventures. But with this one, we get a lot more. So we're just going to go ahead and take this spell, even though we typically wouldn't want to draw more cards. We just want to avoid having more creatures in our deck. This could be good just because we're frostbiting a lot. This would be strong, but ideally we're just going to be focusing around that method of getting Ashe's power up and then dropping her for the damage. First round, mana we spend gets refilled for the first spell we cast. Let's go ahead and I think we're going to add some copies of this into our deck. More spells in there, and this is just now a really strong. So let's take that. Alright, we got 2 spells plus Ashe in our hand. We can toss back this guy, that's fine. Alright, we got another Frostbite in our hand, perfect. Alright, typical start. Let's go ahead and toss out our bird first. And now we'll Frostbite this guy. We could have used this first because it would refill our spell mana, but I think we're okay here. We're already at 15 power on one of them. So we'll go ahead and just attack in, and then we'll pass. 23 attack, so already at lethal. We just need to block here. And now we'll drop Ashe. There we go. Really quick matches here. You can see we're consistently ending on like the second turn. We are getting a little bit lucky with how the power is being distributed, but again, because this adventure that we're going against has a lot of stat scaling, we are able to make sure that we are scaling appropriately with that. Let's see if we can get a different spell. Yeah, let's just take this one. This is another just frostbite spell, so That's sort of what we want. We are going to cut a creature from our deck. Let's cut this cat because he's really expensive, so it's a lot harder for us to play him out of our hand. So let's cut that.
I'll lead the way.
And we're against another Ashe, so we'll get to have a mirror match here, but I think we are going to be quite a bit stronger. We will toss these creatures back. Hopefully we will draw an Ashe. We got Fizz early on, but that also makes it more likely we draw one of our Ashes from our deck, which we did. That's great. Let's just get our creatures out here. We can use this first since we'll refresh our mana. Unfortunately, we do get another creature in our hand when we do that because of one of the mobs on there. Let's go ahead and toss him out. Alright, and we can even kill their Ashe here. Lower their overall HP. We really just want them to drop creatures here. There we go. We got an Ashe, gets frostbitten, and we have 24 damage. There we go. Getting Ashe guaranteed in our starting hand is fantastic, so we'll take that. We're typically not worried about other things for Ashe, since once we drop her, the Nexus should be dead. We don't really need anything that will do additional damage or allow her to attack more times or anything like that. Let's see, none of these are particularly great. Just getting another, either one of these could be good. I think grabbing a follower out of our deck is actually better because that sort of thins our deck a bit. That should just summon one of these Omen Hawks, I believe. It might summon Fizz, actually. Oh no, it's weakest follower, so it wouldn't be Fizz. It's just the followers. Alright, let's head over here. So we should get an Omen Hawk out on the board. We can toss back Ashe. We just want to get spells in our starting hand now. Alright. Oh, I guess the Avarosan Sentry is the cheapest unit we have. We'll just go ahead and cast this just because we can get rid of cards from our hand. Alright, we'll pass. There we go, already at 16. We have to get up to 30 though. So let's go ahead and toss the wolf out here. Great, more stats for their board is fantastic for us. Let's go ahead and frostbite one of these. Take the rally. 24, so we're very close. Potentially at the start of next turn we should be able to kill them here. Let's just block with one of these. Reduce the cost of that. There we go, we're at 30, and we drop Ashe. Excellent. I think we'll head here just to see if we can get spells instead. There we go. And yeah, then we'll head to the shop afterwards, see if there's any power or anything we want to pick up. Let's toss back these Ashes, try to focus for more spells. attack in. Fortunately, our units will die at the end of this. 18 is our highest strength one right now. Let's go ahead and toss out our wolf here. We are able to cast one of these frostbites. Let's go ahead and do that preemptively before they attack. Just a cheaper unit, I think, is good. Select one with Overwhelm, just in case. Alright, we have 26. That's pretty close. That'll be 50... I guess technically it would be like 54 damage, because she'll level up when we drop her. Or no, she won't. She's not quite level yet. She's at 4 out of 5. We could actually... We could fish for like 1 more power on her, and that'll get us... we hit it? We did. Alright, now we can drop her.
Lead us to victory. Faster than my arrow.
There we go, exact lethal.
War is over. Now we rebuild.
We'll again take our spell. Just trying to focus on making sure we don't have creatures. More things on the board in the beginning is fine. They can be blockers for turns that we need them. And let's cut this guy. I don't like that he adds another creature to our deck and draws us other cards that we potentially don't want. There we go. All spells in our opening hand. That's perfect. We should draw, or we're guaranteed to draw Ashe because of that item we put on her. So here we go. Let's go ahead and frostbite him. All his power will go to Ashe. There you go. She's already at 21 power. Let's just attack in here. We'll let that guy die. Alright. We don't want to draw additional units or create other units in our hand, so we're not going to cast any of these. All these things are either drawing or casting units, so we want to avoid that. We are close here. We're at 30, or actually that's enough for lethal. So 36, 37 when she levels up. So there we go. 4 overkill. Easy enough. So that's the Gatebreaker Ashe. Again, you can do this with 3 Gatebreakers. There is a bit more risk that you don't draw Ashe. So Echoing Spirit is a good thing just to, you have to maybe wait a little bit longer if you do have an Ashe in your hand, or you can end up with multiple Ashes from that, which ends up distributing stats amongst them. But it does provide some more consistency from that. Alternatively, you could also use the Chameleon's Necklace, which adds 2 copies of her rather than 7, but that also will make her more likely to be drawn. And that's just a green relic, which is pretty easy to get. So, highly recommend this build if you're going against adventures that have big stats, as it'll scale her even faster and allow you to end games quickly. So, hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you in the next one.